So good afternoon. We're going to be working on self-massage for the TMJ, Temporal Mandibular Joint, which is your jaw joint here. And we're going to be using direction of energy to do some healing. Most of this direction of energy comes from craniosacral therapy work. So welcome. So happy to have you. We, of course, will start by centering and grounding ourselves. So finding your sit bones and push those down into whatever you're sitting on. You'll be able to do this whole class seated, so find a comfortable seat and close your eyes. Take a couple of deep cleansing breaths, letting out some big sighs. And again. We'll open our class with the sound Om, bringing right and left polarities together, hands at heart center. Nice deep inhale and exhale with the sound Om. Om. Take a moment, the quiet, to set your intention for today. What do you need out of this experience? How does your jaw feel? Check in about that. Why did you decide to join? What do you need? And as you set that intention, I invite you to call in the healing energy of the universe, using whatever means or name you prefer. Allow yourself to become an open conduit for that healing energy to flow through you and into you. And sealing your intention with one more Om salutation. Om. And when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. Nice, good. So I invited you to check in about your jaw. How's it feel? What drew you to want to take this class today? And are you experiencing tension there? Do you get pain there? Do you have some dislocation? So TMJ is simply the name of the joint, the temporal mandibular joint. And that's where the mandible, your jawbone, meets the temporal bone and forms a joint. And do have some anatomy slides to show you today, so you get a really clear picture of what we're going to be working on. So how does that present for you? Think about, what's it doing? Do you have trouble waking up from grinding your teeth at night? Do you notice headaches, perhaps caused from jaw tension? What just is going on for you, and what drew you to want to work on this area? So think about that, and we're going to kind of explore some different options for you throughout this class. So let's see. So we're going to start with opening up the jaw. So your jaw is what allows you to chew. It includes the muscles of mastication, and we can create a lot of tension there through our emotions, which we're going to talk about in just a few moments. But to open up with some sounding today, we're going to use the sound ya, you, and yai. And you can see how that affects my jaw when I make those sounds. And all of them help to open up the jaw and make it feel a little more spacious. And we're looking to create that spaciousness for the jaw. So we'll repeat each sound 3 times. We'll do each one individually, and you can really feel how that vibrates and opens up the jaw. It actually stretches those muscles. So we'll start with the sound ya. So inhale, ya. 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 And then the sound you. 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 And then we'll do the sound yai. 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 And just notice, how did that feel in your jaw? You might close your eyes so you can have a little bit better sense of that. I am going to grab, oh, never mind, I've got it right here. My next visual aid. So you may be using a tooth guard, or maybe someone suggested getting a tooth guard for yourself, especially if you notice yourself grinding your teeth at night. So if that is the case, then those work really well, and still the muscles are being used. They have an inability to actually match or meet the teeth on the top and the bottom. And certainly if you've been grinding out your teeth and you need that cushion, that can be really helpful. So some people, that doesn't help stop the grinding, though. It's usually the emotions that are driving that, which we're going to address in just a minute. Another tool you can use is simply a pencil. So you can clench a pencil, and this is going to create some space there. And then as that gets more comfortable, if you try clenching it, you can feel the space there. You can wrap the pencil with perhaps some tape or some one of those pencil grabber things that's rubber. Make it a little thicker and gradually thicker and thicker until it does not, you don't feel the tension there, and it widens or stretches those muscles out. So that's another tool you can use. Today, of course, we're going to use massage and direction of energy. Now, when we did the neck tension and head massage, we did some acupressure massage for this area. We're not going to visit that again, but we're going to do some other techniques today. So, of course, when we're looking at, oh, I don't know how to move me out of there. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Emotional states, typically anxiety, fear, and anger contribute to that. So I'm going to invite you again to close your eyes. And I want you to take on the posture, the position of being happy. So just close the eyes, think happy thoughts, say, I'm happy in your head, and notice, what does your body do? How does your body feel happy for yourself? So how does happy feel in your body? Just notice that. Perhaps you're smiling. Perhaps your shoulders have dropped. Perhaps your breathing is quite easy and slow. And just kind of mentally shake that off. And now I want you to think of fear. You're scared. What happens to your body when you feel scared? So take on the posture, take on the position, scared. And notice what's happening with your face, your head, your jaw. as you take on that posture, that expression of fear. Are you feeling some tension in the jaw in this state of fear? Shake that off. And let's counter that with sad. Now I feel sad. Take on the body posture, facial expressions of sad. When you're sad, notice, how does your jaw feel? How does your mouth feel? What does that take on for you? And shake that off. And now we're gonna get angry. And I don't mean just a little bit mad, I mean pissed off, angry. So take on the body posture. Keep your eyes closed. Nobody can see you. Take on the facial expression of angry. You're so angry and pissed off. And for some of us, depending on what we're angry about, we may not be able to express that anger in a safe manner. Maybe we're angry at our boss, and it's not okay to go yell at our boss, which is what we really want to do. So we internalize that angry state and notice, how does your jaw express anger? Where are you feeling this anger? If you're not expressing it, if you're not getting it out, are you feeling it in your body? How's your body internalizing that anger? I'm guessing you're feeling it in your jaw. I'm guessing you're feeling it in your temples, all around this whole area, perhaps down your neck. So these all contribute to that. So shake that off. Whew, let's get rid of anger. And I'm going to invite you to find peaceful. Just feel peaceful, calm, centered, peaceful. And how does your body posture, how does your facial expression take that on? And just notice, I feel peaceful. I'm guessing that relaxed the jaw. Let it go. Good. All right, so as we are expressing these feelings, we can see it affects our body quite pronouncedly. Let's move me down here now. Move me all around, see how this goes. All right, so energy, cultivating energy healing. We played with this the last couple times we've done body work, and I'm going to just invite us to come back into that space. We already invited the healing energy to come to us by opening ourselves to the universal healing energy. We invited ourselves to become a conduit for that energy. So we're going to play again with that little energy ball. So I've got a nice visual energy ball for you now. So feel a ball of energy between your hands. And as you inhale, expand. As you exhale, contract. Feel that energy build. Good. I'm going to invite you to turn your palms towards you and turn your fingertips towards each other. You can have that kind of in front of your heart center. And bring your eyes to just stare at the space between your fingertips. Let your shoulders be relaxed, your elbows heavy. Just enough space as if you're kind of hugging a small tree. Nice. And go ahead and release that. Rub the palms together. And take a moment to just feel your hands. Do they feel a little energized? Do they feel tingly, warm, pulsing? All of those are signs that the energy's there, ready to go. So we're going to go over a little anatomy. As we go to the anatomy, we'll actually direct energy at that time. So our technique today is called a V spread. So you're going to make your fingers into a letter V, like a peace sign. And the idea, especially around joints like the temporal mandibular joint, and you can use this technique on any joints, is that you're going to place the tool and just have the energy kind of be on either side of the joint. Now, sometimes with the V spread, you'll just do that. Sometimes you feel like you might need a polarity or an oppositional force of energy. So for instance, if you had a headache all on your left side and you did your V spread on the left side, you might want to hold an open hand on the right side. Okay? So let's take a look at the anatomy we're going to be working on today. So first we're going to look at the platysma. So you can see my platysma kind of sticking out here. And my jaw, in order to get it to stick out there, gets into that clenched, kind of fearful state. So if fear is causing the jaw tension, a lot of times that tension will extend down this thin sheath of muscle called the platysma. It runs from the corner of the mouth, so it's definitely affected by what facial expressions we make. And it covers the bottom of the chin, the sides of the cheek, and comes down the throat and over the clavicle bone and into the tissue of the chest. Okay? So you've got your anatomy there. You can visually see it. So for this, I'm going to invite a V spread on either side. So here, probably see that a little better. So taking a deep breath, just allowing that V spread energy to connect in with that muscle. I've got one hand kind of on the clavicle or just below the clavicle and one hand on the main part of the muscle here along the throat. But wherever you feel that tension, you could do this. You could do that tension here. You could do that direction of energy here. So whatever kind of feels right for you in your body and what's going on right now. And just like we've talked about with the direction of energy work, typically you're just looking for some sign that something's changed, something's shifted. We talk about signs of tissue release. So the tissue we're talking about is the platysma muscle. And usually the easiest one to follow is your breath. A lot of times after that shift has happened, you'll just spontaneously take a deep breath. So look for that, listen for that, pay attention. And there's my breath. And so now I know I'm ready to go on to the next muscle. Here's another way to look at it, and you can touch it all through this whole area here, okay? So next, we're looking at the muscles of mastication. We have the masseter, the pterygoids, and the temporalis all involved in this, and that temporalis is really why this goes up into causing headaches, this tension in the temporal mandibular joint. So I've got each one individually. We'll start with temporalis. So you can see temporalis is here on the side of your head, and you can Do your V spread again, however that feels like it fits nicely to what you're feeling in your body. And just holding the V spread. If you want to do both sides at the same time, you can, or if one side feels more pronounced, you can try holding the energy with a whole hand. Just notice how you're feeling, being present with your touch, where your connection is. And there's my spontaneous breath. And then I can check in. Does the other side need it as well? I'll go ahead and offer this on the other side for the other temporalis muscle. The V spread really gives you that sensation or feeling of actually directing the energy. It's very clear where you're intending that energy to go. But know that that whole hand, the whole palm, fingers, everything on the other side is also directing energy. Just so you can see where I am, turn to the side a little bit. There was that sigh breath for me, so we'll go ahead and release that area. All right, next is the pterygoid muscles, and these are on the inside of the mouth. So could we direct energy with a V spread just from the outside? Certainly. But what I find is very effective when I work on the pterygoids is to actually go inside the mouth and touch them. So if you feel comfortable with that, I'm going to demonstrate that. I have washed my hands thoroughly before doing this technique. If you are working with someone else, you might want to put on a sanitary glove for this. So I'm going to use one finger, my forefinger. So I'm going to have the V spread this way. And what you're going to do is open your mouth slightly and slide your finger along the inside of your cheek until you feel it hit something. Now that something might feel as hard as bone. And as you can see from the diagram, there's a muscle there. That muscle might be so tight it feels like bone. We're just going to direct energy into it. You might have the sensation that you're melting into the muscle, like it's sucking you in or absorbing you. And the direction will be straight back this direction towards the back of your head. So opening the mouth, sliding along the inner cheek, and just holding gentle pressure there. You're just directing the energy. You're not pressing with any kind of manual pressure, just holding the direction of energy inside the mouth right against those pterygoid muscles. So I had that nice deep breath and just check in. Did that make a difference? Does your jaw feel a little different? Certainly this whole side feels a lot different for me. So play with that, notice that. Again, you can do this from outside, just visualizing from the slide where those pterygoid muscles are, the direction they run. And it almost feels like you kind of got the edge and you're directing the pressure up against it. And as I said, it might feel like it kind of absorbs you a little bit. Your mouth might actually close down on your finger a little bit as it starts to relax and let go. All right, I'm going to go with the other side. Again, if you want to hold, you can do that. And there's that breath on the other side. And so I just gently remove my finger. All right. Last muscle is the masseter muscle. And in craniosacral, there's two different ways that we direct energy for the masseter. The first is to hold and have the energy directed from the heel of your hand with a direction up. So it's almost like you're kind of helping to close it, support it, so that it feels like it can just let go and relax. And there's that breath. And then the V spread will be this direction. And so it's kind of, I'm thinking about creating more space in that joint as I direct the energy in. So one finger is on the zygomatic arch or cheekbone, and one is on the jaw. And those are the two bones that come together or articulate to form the joint there. So I'm thinking about my V spread separating those 2 points. Again, I'm not moving, I'm just directing energy, but that's where my intention is. And there's my breath telling me there's a change, and I can simply remove my hands. Now, that was short. You may need to direct energy for a longer time, but even with that shortness, what do you notice? How does it feel? Play with that a little bit. So, let's see. Yeah, there we go. So, I invite you to play with the sounds. That helps stretch it out. If you wake up first thing in the morning and it feels tight, ya, you, yai will help that. If you notice yourself anxious, fearful, angry, and not having the opportunity to express it, then that's what I would suggest is find an avenue of expression. This whole area, throat, jaw, mouth, in craniosacral therapy is called the avenue of expression. And so You want to get that out, whether that means yelling when you're in your car, screaming in your car, whether that means punching a pillow, whether that means writing in your journal and letting those emotions get down on paper, diffusing them, whether that means doing a tapping technique, acknowledging how angry you are. I feel all this anger, and yet I still love and accept myself. Even though I feel so much anger, I love and accept myself. And you can go through the tapping points and acknowledge that anger and help it dissipate. Okay? So, whatever tools you want to do, I encourage you use those, because these unexpressed emotions really contribute to this physical manifestation in your body around your temporal mandibular joint. Hopefully that helps. Check your jaw, do a little jaw check. How's that feel? Does it feel looser? Does it feel more fluid? Do you feel a difference? That's what we have for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Well,
Thank you.
just notice, just pay attention, and easy techniques. You can do them laying in bed in the morning, right before you go to bed at night, and hopefully that will help.